It's the Chat at noon.
I'm here with Zach Wilson, the Executive Director of the High Plains Food Bank, and today we are talking about the Together We Can food drive. So thank you so much for joining us today.
And you bet. Thank you for having me.
Yes, and taking the time to talk about this. I mean, this is such a big deal, not only for you guys, but for us as well, this partnership. So can you kind of give us details on this year's food drive?
Yeah, excited once again for the partnership, first of all, start off with that. But yeah, we are starting Monday. It's hard to believe, nice and cold, so it's setting the tone, you know. But we're starting Monday at Market Street United on Georgia. This is the original Market Street now. And we'll be there from 9 a.m. to just a little after 10 p.m. Monday through next Friday. Collecting food and monetary donations there on site, and but the biggest thing that we are asking for is that monetary support. You know, that helps us bring the food in a year that we need it the most, in a year that we've seen, so much happen, across our area. So we'll be there collecting food and funds and trying to, like I said, with the goal to try to bring in a lot more food here as we end the year and as we start the new one.
Yes, and so speaking of just monetary donations, what's really unique about the food bank is that for every dollar, how many meals does that provide? Yeah,
when you look at the total amount of donated food that we receive every year, and the amount of donations that we receive, when you add all that together, it really increases our efficiencies and what we're able to bring in the door. So that's why we say when every dollar that is donated to us is the equivalent of about 9 meals that we can provide through the area. So we hear that all the time, especially in this year. Well, I can only give this amount or this amount. You multiply that by 9 and that really shows you the effect of your donations. So there really isn't a donation that's too small, during next week to help us get our goal. It really helps us put food on the table all across the Texas Panhandle.
Yes, and this comes at a time where just giving is so important with the holidays coming up, with Christmas, and like you said earlier, things have just been hard all across the board. Can you kind of talk about just where that passion comes from for you, to give back to our community?
Yeah, for me, it's being there when folks need us there the most. We're always there every year. We always talk about the need every year. But this year it's been so important because it started off with the wildfires, that ravaged, 1.2 million acres here in the Texas Panhandle. And folks that were never put in a situation before of having to need food and need help, all of a sudden, in a matter of hours, needed it because they lost their livelihood or they lost their home. And that's impactful that we were able to step up to do that. But now, as we shifted to almost the May time period, we serve the most number of households in the entire Texas Panhandle that we have ever served in our entire history. So that's 40 plus years. And that's how this year has been. Folks needing help for the first time, folks needing help because they can't, afford to put food on the table for one reason or the other. And, we're passionate about doing that. And, we haven't been in a situation the whole year that we have been adequately being able to do that because of food donations being down, for costs being up. So that's why this next week is so important. You can help step in, fill that gap, and we can easily, finish this year strong and begin the next year, and we can make a meaningful impact. So seeing the impact of what we can do when we have the resources is important, but also to me what's impactful is seeing folks step up and being so generous as everyone is here in the Texas Panhandle when we come to our food drive every year.
Yes, that's what I love so much about this community too, is if you ask for help, there's so many people that step up.
Absolutely.
And, it really comes with the name Together We Can.
Yeah.
And so can you give us one more time just the details on how the community can help, where they can go, and how they can, help people have a happy holiday season?
Yeah, absolutely. So come Monday, you can come see us at Market Street United on Georgia, 2530 Georgia Street. And you can drop off a donation there on site. We'll be there from 9 a.m. to about 10 p.m. You can actually go into any United store, 18 stores here in the Texas Panhandle, donate at the register as you're checking out. Super easy. 100% of those proceeds come to the food bank, or you can also donate online, hpfb.org or highplainsfoodbank.org. You'll see the link at the top. You can donate to us, and that will come in to the total as well. And just every little bit helps. And literally, that's not a cliche. That will really help us out this year. What we've seen, and help us continue to make an impact on lives in the Texas Panhandle as we get to the holiday season.
Wonderful. Well, last question, just moving forward, the goal for this year, I don't know if you guys have a goal or if you're looking forward to reaching something. Yes. Can you kind of talk about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have one, and sorry I didn't mention it earlier. It's easy just to get talking about everything that is happening, but yes, we want to raise $250,000 during this campaign. Yes, it sounds like a lot of money, but we exceeded that last year. And it's so easy to participate. Your donation, whether it be 20, 50, 100, whatever, can easily help us get there. When you donate at the register in United, or you come out or donate online. And also we're working on hopefully some exciting things throughout the week. We've always had those, some things that come up, incentives to give, or even matching opportunities. We're still working towards that, but we know we can easily meet $250,000 during this campaign. So come out or jump online or go to the store and help us get there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Zach.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Yes, we will see you out there on Monday. So this has been the Chat at Noon. I'm Kelsey Davis for News Channel 10.